We on? All right, welcome. Looking a little empty in here tonight. Welcome to Survive, brought to you by the Survive First Foundation and our sponsors, the Dirty Ore. Obviously, we're going minimal tonight, working on our, what do they call it, Jesse? Social distortion. I don't know.
Yeah, social distancing.
Social distancing. I'm a pro at it because I don't like being around anybody anyway. So, Chris will be here in a couple minutes. He's running late. Obviously, you know, Chris is still working. He's one of the few people out there. He doesn't have much choice but to go out there and interact with all the hoodlums and the homicides and the murders and rapes and all the other stuff that he does as a detective, trying to figure out my little technical stuff here. Hold on. Bear with me, everyone. How do I watch this video? I think I got it. Get started. All right. So anyway, Karen decided to stay home. You know, she has obviously an autoimmune disease, and it's best for her to minimize contact with people. She's actually not happy with me for coming out into the public. So I'm sure I'm going to get hosed down with disinfectant when I get home. But, you know, we've been doing our best to stay out of everybody's way. And obviously we live on the beach, and, you know, it was kind of nice last week, you know, with spring break being shut down. We got to enjoy the beach. We got to go out there and relax every day. But it was pretty much mayhem out there with all the people on vacation. Nowadays, it's pretty slim pickings. There's still a few people coming in. Nothing that's going to affect anybody. You know, we've walked on the beach a couple of mornings, and it's mainly just people walking on the beach, and everybody's got plenty of room to keep their distance. So, you know, there's a big controversy. Do you shut the beaches down? Do you not try to, you know, do you not shut it? I've seen all kinds of people bitching and moaning, close the beaches. Man, you know, listen, you gotta give somebody something to do out there. And I think on the beaches, if it's maintainable and there's not a lot of, you know, Cocoa Beach, I don't know about you, Jesse, but Cocoa Beach shut the parking areas down, and that kind of minimized pretty much substantial amount of people coming. So it seems to be a locals only thing. And, I mean, could be much worse. So that's going to be our topic tonight. So yeah, our topic tonight is, you know, how is this affecting your departments, your agencies? You know, what is it doing to you guys? And then how can we relate this to our everyday lives? And how do we get through this without, you know, for lack of better terms, you know, jumping off a cliff? Yeah, you know, I come up with some good ones, don't I? So anyway, Dirty Ore, they decided, you know, they still support us. They're not going to come in tonight, you know, just to keep a distance, but they are still open. Every day that I've noticed they're changing their times. They're selling, you know, takeout orders and their growlers. Obviously, I brought, you know, I bring my cup, but I bring my own drink tonight. And, you know, they're doing quite well over there. So if you can, go downtown, Cocoa Village, and support them. We've got some other sponsors out there doing great work, Chateau Recovery and Stepstones Connect. They're two big companies that I work with out west that provide, you know, treatment and therapy and online therapy to first responders. And let me tell you, it's been a pretty busy couple weeks for first responders. The suicide rate is obviously still climbing. Chris will come in with the affected numbers. I didn't get a chance to check. You know, my wife's already sending me messages online. We want to hear from everyone. Police, fire, dispatch, nurses, and corrections. That's everyone. Nah, that ain't everyone, but that's enough. So anyway, I'm not going to kick off into the main subject until Chris gets here. We'll give him a couple more minutes. But anyway, what we'll do is touch base on a couple different things until Chris gets in here. One of the things I want to talk to everybody about is, you know, one of the things I've noticed that needs to be curbed is the social media outpouring. And I don't think people give it enough time, and they don't give They don't give enough effort into watching what they put on social media, what they share on social media. You know, I'm not a big guy for social media stuff. Most of my stuff, you know, comes out, you know, Karen puts it on there for the foundation. Every now and then I like to, you know, give a smart ass remark to a couple people out there. But for the most part, you know, I do go on there and I do look, especially lately, a little more than I usually do, trying to see what kind of information's going out there, what people are doing. One of the things I notice is people are putting a lot of dumb ass shit on social media. Okay, and let me reiterate when I say so, just so you know, because obviously my wife's not here to yell at me all night, but there's probably gonna be a lot of foul language coming out of my mouth because I'm a little aggravated. You know, I'm at my wit's end with this whole lockdown and corona and virus, whatever the hell you want to title it. I'm gonna abide by the rules and because I have to, and that's a smart thing to do. I get it. And knowing my luck, I'd probably get the crap, you know. And so, you know, after all the crap I've been through, that's what's going to take me out of some damn measly-ass virus, you know. But I guess it could be worse. So one of the things I noticed coming down here, I'm driving down the highway, and I see this store, and it's a cleaning business. And it says, "We can clean your residence for COVID-19." And I just started laughing. Because I really wanted to call them up and go, motherfucker, you don't even know what COVID-19 is, and you're going to come clean my house for it. Stuff like that. People are putting radical stuff on social media. And listen, you know, take it from somebody who's worked in the business, especially on the federal level. You can't believe a damn word, anything. You cannot believe anybody or anything you see on social media. You can barely believe the crap that's coming out of the politicians' mouths on TV. I don't care if you're a sheriff or you're a fire chief. I mean, just everybody just needs to just do the simple basics. The simple basics. Keep your distance. Keep yourself clean. Wash your hands. You know, do the basic minimums. We don't need a whole entourage and a whole war on social media and, oh, it's the freaking Chinese are insulted and this one's offended and you're blaming these people. I mean, I've seen it all. I've seen it from A to Z, and it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. One of the things you need to do is just focus on your own safety, your own well-being, your own family, and Rich Creamer, man, don't you know I'm doing my show? So I'm gonna show everybody this knucklehead. Listen, so I'm live on my show. This is Rich Creamer. He's in Norfolk, Virginia. He got better shit to do, but he's gonna call and fuck with me. Are you watching the show?
No, I'm not watching the show. I'm actually fucking calling you to see how you're doing.
Oh well, I'm doing. I'm not used to you being nice to me. I'm doing a live show, but I'm going to show everybody. Look, we're live with Rich Creamer from Norfolk, Virginia. This is what Chris did to me and you at the conference. I'll call you when I get. What's that?
Seriously, I was just calling to see if you were good and the family was good. And,
yeah, we're good.
Basically, that was it, man.
Yeah, I'll call you when I get out of here.
All right, buddy.
All right, see you, brother. You know, I gotta laugh because he's a Boston guy, right? So you know, every time we see each other, he always gives me shit. So I figured he was calling just to mess with me, and we're notorious for that. He's a great guy out of Norfolk, Virginia. He works up there with Chris Scallon, a bunch of my buddies up there. He's another good guy to reach out to. We speak together on the tour, and we do a lot of work with IACP and so forth. But anyway, he's a fantastic guy. And so Norfolk, bless, man. So even my own wife calling me. They had a shooting. They had an officer-involved shooting a couple of days ago, and so a couple of their SWAT guys had to go in there, and they got involved in the shooting. So I'm sure he's calling to talk about that. Anyway, my wife's calling me.
She can't say what.
Yeah, I don't know. She makes me nervous when she like that. Sorry, I got to just put the show on hold, make sure everything's all right. Let me just text her. So back to the main subject. Getting a little, overbearing on. And so the social media thing, I'm just not a big fan of it. You got your people on social media that all they put on there is doom and gloom, boo-hoo me, feel sorry for me, look at my toe, it's infected. If you put a picture of your foot, listen, I mean, there's a few people out there probably wondering why I unfriended them. Don't put a picture of your nasty ass feet on Facebook. Nobody cares about your boo boo on your toe. Nobody cares that you're laying out by your pool and you got to do the zoom in of your legs in the pool. No, that was a joke. I love you. I thought you were funny. Rich called. She was being funny because Rich called me. So nobody cares about that stuff. And in this day and age, most people are either bragging or they want you to feel sorry for them. Look who I'm with, look where I'm at, look what I'm doing. Or it's some bull crap. And what that does is 9 out of 10 people that are looking at social media, they're looking at it and they're upset. They're jealous, or it stresses them out, or it makes them feel, not so good about themselves, or they don't feel good about what they're doing in life. They're jealous, and now's not the time to be doing that type of stuff. That's just my 2 cents. I mean, who cares anyway, right? But it's an important factor. It's so important that it's a contributing factor into depression, into suicide things. And, when I get on this show, obviously I talk from a viewpoint of first responder suicide awareness, PTSD, depression. Now, you want to have a conversation on a different note, hey, man, you can call me any day of the week. I'm always around to pick up that phone call. But for this show, this is what we're dealing with. This is one of the things that's important that everybody does is minimize their usage and just think. Slow down and think a minute before you put some bull crap on social media, because unfortunately the whole world revolves around social media. The other thing I wanted to touch base, with the whole internet and social media stuff. Is that my wife replying to me, telling me not to say this and not to say that? Anyway, I'm going to try to read and try to talk. And, actually, I'm not used to talking this much between Chris and the rest of the crew. I usually only have to talk a couple minutes a show. Anyway, so once again, real important that you're mindful of what you're doing, what you're saying out there, and we can kind of minimize the spread of depression. Because, listen, there's a couple different ways. Last night I was sitting there just enjoying the evening, thinking about, what's been taking place through this whole thing. I've obviously been grounded. I'm not allowed to travel. I've had to pass up a bunch of teaching, bunch of speaking engagements, and that's just fine. That's okay. I'm retired anyway, so this has been good for me to sit and catch up and rest my back. I've been one of my favorite things to do is to work on my house and build stuff. Anybody that's ever been to my house or, any of my houses or been around me, I like to build, I like to tinker, and I've kind of been remotivated that I've been home for a few weeks and started rebuilding. We built a new patio and, doing things like that. And it's been kind of nice. So last night I'm sitting there enjoying the evening. And, I started thinking about, what the discussion was going to be tonight about this whole, COVID. Is that how you say it? COVID-19? Rich is giving me grief. So anyway, one of the things, this could be a blessing in disguise. All depends on how you want to look at it. I mean, you can look at it with a positive outlook. You can look at it with a negative outlook, or you just look at it from both avenues. It could be a blessing in disguise, because one of the things in this generation and the way things that have evolved to in this day and age is we run 100 miles an hour. I'm guilty of it myself. I never not run 100 miles an hour. And, the world, and I say the world, but let's just say for our nation, for Americans, and I apologize for a couple of my buddies watching from overseas, but I'm going to focus on us tonight. We don't take time anymore to smell the roses, for lack of better terms. We don't do anything. I mean, I sat on the beach the other day with Karen, and everybody that walked by us on the beach. Now, and I'm telling you, if you're not in Florida, it has been 85 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. It has been the weather that every idiot in the United States moves to Florida to. Please stop, man. Stay wherever the hell you're at. Quit moving here. And because I don't know about your beach down in your hood, Jesse, but I mean, you can't even drive in Cocoa Beach. You literally, with the traffic, you know what I mean? It's just crazy there. So anyway, everybody's walking up and down the beach, and 9 out of 10 people are walking. The waves are breaking. The water's beautiful, man. The scenery's nice. And they're all looking at their freaking cell phones. Every one of them. It was pretty sad that you can't even take a time out and put your damn phone down because you're only looking at a couple different things. All the Facebook, the Instagram, the other, whatever the crap the kids are on nowadays. And then Karen and I sit there and laugh, and we watch everybody on the beach. And all they're doing is taking selfies of them, posing like they're in a Victoria's Secret catalog. 15-year-old girls with their bathing suits yanked up their ass. And they're, like, if they're 15, I'd get safe to say 12 to 15-year-olds, every one of them, with their mom and dads on the beach, too. I mean, it's disgusting. And everybody's got their head into their phone. Circle back to what I was getting at in the beginning. Was the blessing in disguise. Everybody is 100 miles an hour, especially first responders. And, maybe we just needed somebody to ground us. It's like a timeout. Stay home and chill out for 2 weeks. And maybe, just maybe, everybody will start to just relax a little bit more. I noticed in the past few weeks, I've been relaxed a lot more. Karen's been, because you don't have this many worries. I mean, this nation is uptight, wound up like there's no tomorrow. You can't go anywhere without people wanting to fight. I mean, you put the TV on, and our nation just is out of control. You got politicians that all they want to do is fight each other. And look, they're doing it today, man. They can't even agree on a stimulus package. And it's our fault because we vote these assholes in there. And I don't care what side you're on, whether you're on the blue side, the red side. It don't matter. They're all a bunch of idiots. They're unprofessional. I look at the way they act on TV, and I look at the way we had to act as first responders. And I remember my very first write-up. I'm going to read this, Rich, because it looks important. So give me a minute. I'll read it to everybody. So, lost my train of thought. What was I talking about, Jesse? That's what happens when you have a brain injury.
You're resetting.
Yeah, so resetting and slowing down and minimizing. Where I was talking about the politicians and yes. When I got in trouble at work. My very first write-up was a kid who they were fighting in the street, and I called the kid over, and he comes towards me, and he ghost ride. That's when you jump off the back of your bike, and he let the bike come at me like he wanted it to hit me, and I just moved to the side. It fell down, and he called me a pussy-ass N-word, and I said, sit down, quit acting like a little punk. That's what I said. His parents put him in the car, drove to the police department, and filed a formal complaint on me because I insulted their son. They didn't care what he called me, because if I would have called him what he called me, I'd have been on national news. But I told him to quit acting like a punk. This is a long time ago. Obviously, I got much worse real quick. But anyway, I got written up for conduct unbecoming, unprofessional conduct as a police officer because I told the kid to quit acting like a punk. You look at the way these people on TV act, and boy, you talk about unprofessional. Could you imagine if they got written up for the crap that they do, the crap they talk, the way they talk to each other? And the problem is we watch this daily, and then that fuels us, and then we go into our environment, and and obviously from the past 8 years, everybody hates the police. Everybody loves the firefighters. I joke about that every time I get on stage. Like, nobody ever, there ain't no calendars with cops with their shirts off. Like, nobody likes the cops that much. That's one of the things I'm talking about, removing yourself. Here's another example. When we go to Africa every summer, or, the past few summers, obviously we can't go this summer, but one of the things we got to do when we go there is we got no internet, we got no TV, we don't have anything, man. We're in the middle of the freaking jungle trying not to get ate by lions, for lack of, better terms here, but that's actually kind of the truth. But and it's so refreshing to set life aside for 2 weeks, because that's about what we're gone for, is 2 weeks. And that was one of the things I thought about last night, because I was kind of bummed we're not going to be able to go away. And then I thought, man, they want us to stay home for 2 weeks and not do anything. Man, what a freaking great idea. What's there to bitch about? They're going to make you stay home for 2 weeks? Okay. Some of you are not going to get paid. Fortunately for me, I'm retired, so I'm going to get paid whether I do it or not. I'm just going to rub that in all y'all's faces. And but sit home, chill out, spend some time with your family. When's the last time you've done that? People, they try to act on social media like pictures of my kids, and then we're doing this and doing that. Man, bull crap. Everybody knows you're full of it, man. You don't spend that much time with your kids. That's another thing I say on stage. People, kids are like puppies, man. They're only cute for a little while, and then they suck. And I'm only just bitter because I miss my son, but... Anyway, what's up, Hingle McCringleberry? It's my boy. I love that dude. All right, so I'm going to read you. I'm going to get off my tangent for a minute. And, all right, lesson for today. Control the controllable. We cannot always control what is happening, but we can control the way we react and respond. We can always control our attitude and our effort. We can control how we communicate with our peers and our community. Limit your media exposure so that you're not dwelling on the situation. The repetitive nature of a 24-hour news and social media will negatively impact your ability to be optimistic. Then he said he'll fight me right now. Sorry. Anyway, that's great advice. That's great advice, man. And that's coming from a Bostonian, man, a hardcore Boston guy being that optimistic. Anyway, so let's reiterate on that. Like Rich saying, limit your media exposure. I mean, they put the news. So lately in the mornings, I've been putting the news on early in the morning, just seeing the update. And it's just the same crap, repeated. And, obviously that's going to distort the way you think. Get the news. So you need to if you need news to get through your daily life, go ahead, grab it, and move forward. Get the update, get to see what they're up to, and listen. But only take so much of it, because listen, 90% of the crap they're telling you is bull crap. And if you have anybody, that comes from the same circle that I come from and that I worked in, anybody in that federal aspect, law enforcement, whatever, reach out to them and ask them, and they'll tell you the same thing. 90-something% of the crap you're listening on TV and you're seeing on social media is a bunch of bull crap. You can never believe 90% of the stuff coming out of their mouth. There's always an ulterior motive of what they're going for, what they're shooting for, what they're saying to you, because they're trying to maintain, what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to maintain social compliance. They don't need a bunch of people running around like a bunch of lunatics. I have personally, I think Doug Levine's on tonight. I see it up there briefly. He'll get that. He'll get what I'm getting at. When we went to Louisiana, we during the Hurricane Katrina situation, we saw what a catastrophic event can do to a community. That was just Louisiana. And I never seen so many people doing so much rancid, stupid stuff in a short amount of time in my life. When they had nothing and everybody was in disarray and people are floating down streets and there's, the town is gone and people are shooting and fighting over TVs. Ain't got a damn house to put the TV in. Like, I'll never forget driving down the road and seeing these two dudes walking down the side of the road through the water with a 70-inch freaking plasma screen on their shoulders. And I'm like, come on, man, you got to do better than that, So my wife's telling me, how's your department handling the current situation? Well, if you were listening earlier, I said I was going to wait for Chris to get in here and let him kick it off since he actually works in a department and I don't. Trying to read all the comments. So anyway, let's focus on that. Here's something that I kind of want, that I want to chime in on. Try something different. Maybe try through these times, set up a plan throughout, if you're grounded like we are and you can't go nowhere and there's a lot of talk that we're getting ready to go on a 2-week, the media is saying, they've interviewed some politicians where they say that's totally false. We are not going on a 2-week hiatus or lockdown, whatever you want to call it. I've heard from resources that that's not true, that they are getting ready to start implementing us. We've seen the National Guards moving into towns. Okay, it's not a crisis, especially for Florida people. We're used to getting our asses kicked once a year and being locked down for 2 weeks. So I don't know about the rest of you. We're kind of used to it. This whole toilet paper and paper towel thing, and I don't get it. Even, Publix put a statement out and said, just shop regularly. If everybody just goes regular shopping, everybody will get what they need just fine. And not these idiots. Like, somebody told me there was a guy in US 1 and 520. They had a truck and they were selling paper towels. Cocoa PD should have pulled up and whooped their ass. God bless them. Thank God I wasn't still working there because that's what I would have done. Shame on you. I would have got out and whooped their ass and put them in handcuffs and put them in jail, period. There's no need for any of that type of stuff. No need for that. What is your department doing? That's going to be our topic today. What is your work? It doesn't soak toilet paper and Lysol. It burns, but I'm germ-free. Yeah, that might work a little bit. Michigan goes essential at 100 hours. And there comes my buddy. Michigan goes. What does that say, Chris?
Is my mic already live?
You're live. We're waiting for you.
I just made it. Hey, welcome back, friends.
What does that say, Chris? Michigan goes essential at. Manana, tomorrow. Okay, yeah, tomorrow. I can't get my glass on. Governor of Indiana just announced essential travel only till April 3rd. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome. You look great.
Thanks. So do you,
man.
So
good to see you.
You have a good day?
It is. It has
been
very
work?
well. No, I was working. I was in my.
Jesse
tells me that I need to disinfect.
I got bleach wipes. Hey,
listen,
I
got some
vodka.
Let's just listen. If you need a solution to whatever this coronavirus is, it's called Tito's. All right. So we love Tito's. Hey, alcohol makes everything better sometimes, right? So you can rub it on your hands and smell it, and then you can drink it, and it just cleans out your insides. At least that's what I think.
I truly believe that if you drink, there's nothing in that. That's new. I saved that. I just poured it out.
It's pretty stout.
Oh, I did pour a little in there. Sorry,
man. Perfect. No,
I did do that.
I love that.
I was mixing. I was using it as a mixer, but you might need to add a little bit more.
So we're without Karen.
Karen is hiding. She's at home doing body boss.
Body boss.
I call it booty boss or whatever. But she's at home on the deck doing exercise, trying to lift her ass higher, and all that stuff women do.
Crystal's been doing that. Her booty stands right up. It's like apple bottom. I love it. I take a bite out of that thing. Anyways, hey, so we've officially made it into crisis 2020. COVID-19, as I like to call it, distraction 2020. I mean, we're totally distracted by this, right?
Yeah.
So we can't buy toilet paper. All we can do is wash our hands, elbow bump, and I mean, we can't even go out to eat. So here's my plan, my official plan for this week to make it through. Because, in being a detective, what's the most important thing of our whole day? Eating out, right?
Lunch.
Yeah, you got to go eat out. So I think we're just going to have picnics from now on. We're going to go order from somewhere, make sure that we tip a waitress. Hey, if you're going to order out, make sure you tip them, because that's their livelihood. And then we're going to go sit in the grass 6 feet away from each other and maybe gaze into each other's eyes. That's all I can imagine that we're going to do.
For the meanwhile, right?
Right. So this is actually, I mean, let's think back to the 1980s. Maybe some people listening are maybe not, maybe they're too young for the 1980s. But I hope that their parents at least told them that, hey, did you know the grocery stores used to be closed on Sundays? We actually ate dinner together and celebrated that we loved each other, and we talked. And I mean, it was just a way to connect. Everything wasn't at our fingertips. I mean, we didn't even know when hurricanes were going to hit Florida, really. I mean, so this is kind of like an ongoing hurricane, but with no disaster.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier before you came in. Us Florida guys, we're used to getting our asses kicked and being out of commission for 2 weeks. So it's really not a big,
right.
not a big deal.
And it's even better because gas prices have went down. So y'all should be out traveling. I mean, don't listen to me. I'm definitely not the kind of health alert. Oh, I'm still hugging people.
Yeah, I shook a dude's hand yesterday in the grocery store and caring about. Yeah, she holds her breath the entire time. Like when people walk by, she goes, "You hear." And I'm like, it's not airborne. They gotta, unless they stick their tongue in your mouth. And like I took her to Home Depot the other day, and she threw a freaking hissy fit. And then I took her to Northern Tools, and she wouldn't even go in there. I'm not going in there. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going in there, because if I'm gonna be stuck home, I'm building things and I'm having fun. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna work the best that I can.
We have literally been outside. Since the girls got out of school for spring break, their tans, they are like a warm brown. I mean, little sun-kissed girls, blonde hair, blue and brown eyes. Addison has brown. The other two babies have blue eyes. And they are just, I mean, they love it. And
I'm peeling, man.
I love it.
I've been outside so much. I almost said running. That would have been a lie. I've been walking. Karen's been running. Been riding my bike every day and doing twice a day and walking and just doing all kinds of stuff. And before you got here, it's been nice.
It has been.
And so what I was telling everybody was, it's a blessing in disguise. It hit me last night. This is actually a blessing in disguise because we're on a 2-week timeout because it seemed to me like the world was going to implode. Everybody wanted to fight. Everybody was aggravated. Yeah. And it's almost like God saying, everybody go to your room for 2 weeks.
Right.
You're grounded.
Time out.
Like, man, I wish I could still be grounded, And, my daughter was showing me a meme or something, and it said, 2 weeks, whatever. She goes, I'm a kid, man. Like, I spent 90% of my life locked in my room for 2 weeks.
Right.
But anyway, you moved up.
So it's a blessing. I mean, let's think about the 1920s. Like, there were some crazy things happening in America then. And now 100 years later, we're back to craziness. We have all of the information that we could ever want right at our fingertips, but we disconnected from each other. We don't even know how to just have a conversation. That's why I really like coming here, because we always talk. We don't have a problem, having a conversation, talk, and just saying, hey, man, I miss you. I care about you. We don't have that issue, and we hope that this bleeds into other people where it's like, hey, it really is no big deal to care about people a whole lot and to just be genuine. So now we have to go back to relationships. We have to spend time with our family. Oh, my gosh. Let me say that again. We have to spend time with our family, the people that live in our houses. As a first responder, my wife working in a hospital in the emergency room, it's crazy, but nothing's changed. Here's what's changed. We still wash our hands. We're not slobs, and we wipe our ass with, someone else's toilet paper now. Because I don't know why everybody has went crazy over toilet paper.
Yeah, I don't. I wish somebody could explain that to me.
I just don't give in to what everybody around you. Like, take the essentials that you need and just live. I think that this has been probably the best disconnect, because we were on a very fast pace. Everybody's making a lot of money, moving around, doing this, trying to figure out what's next, and really resetting and getting ready for the next 20 years, the next 15 years, the next 5 years, the next year. It can be great, and we don't have to be distracted and just get so stuck into the daily grind. People were grinding pretty hard. I mean, if you look at all the markets before they have reset, I mean, people were making a lot of money, working a lot of hours. Everybody's doing great. And now it's like, oh crap, what do I do? I wouldn't change anything. In fact, we haven't. We just, we play at home. For you, like, I'm sad that they closed the beaches. They don't want people. I think everybody needs to go outside.
Yeah, well, they didn't close the beach. You just can't park there.
You just can't park.
So then we were like, great, now we're going to have 100 people, parking in front of my house. But that's not been the case.
Right.
You see people will pull up, drop maybe a few off. We walked on the beach yesterday or the day before, and there really wasn't very many people on the beach at all. Right. Which was kind of nice. Even, Coconuts is usually in the town, where I live at, the little bar on the beach restaurant. They're closed, so there's no desire for people. Then these guys are just ripping me up about wearing tight shirts and my cycling shirts and stuff.
They're just jealous. They want to get in that kind of shape.
My shirts aren't that tight because I've lost so much weight.
That's true.
Well, I've lost a bunch of weight, muscle, because I haven't been doing anything. But I've now formed a pouch. Like, I got like a little belly.
Kangaroo pouch.
Yeah, like I got this little fat belly kicking, and it is freaking me out. I stare at it all day long. I've never had any body fat on me.
You know what you got to do? You got to squeeze your belly button together and kind of pop it so it gets that.
Yeah, I've done all that stuff. I stare at it so much. I saw a SWAT buddy of mine from NASA. And Eric Munsterman, if you know Eric. And Eric's, I think he's 62 now. He's still incredible shape. But so when I told him that, he showed me his, and he goes, you just got to get used to it, man.
I wanted to get one of those, the fanny packs that just look like a belly, because I thought that would be funny. Just walk around with it.
Fanny packs are coming back.
Yeah.
Tabo still wears a fanny pack.
I love him. Yeah, Brian, he's everywhere he goes. And I actually, when I was in field training with JT, I went and did a traffic stop on him. He was flying through Cocoa, and so as I'm walking up, I see the union badge, the metal badge on the license plate. I walk up and I'm like, "Are you a cop?" And he's driving with a fanny pack on. He didn't even set it to the side. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, and I have a gun." I'm like, "Okay, well, are you going to use the gun, or are you going to just talk about the gun? Like, where's your ID, dude?" And he was like, "It's right here by my gun." I'm like, "Okay, can you show it to me without pulling your gun out on me?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." So, and he goes, "Man, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Get out of here." But yes, he even drives in his fanny pack. So I don't know if he listens. Hopefully he does, because that should make you chuckle. He's a great guy. He comes out and supports the canine competition.
Yeah.
We're still going to have that. Do we know if animals are getting coronavirus?
I heard that.
They're not supposed to.
I seen a thing, but I just I went on this like 20-minute tangent before you got here about social media is a bunch of crap and everybody's idiots for watching it. But I saw a thing on there about 2 dogs have been diagnosed with coronavirus, and yeah, I wish cats would get it,
Right?
because I would lick them both in the mouth if I got it, just to get rid of them little jackasses in my house. Karen's probably throwing a hissy fit right now, but anyway, so the topic was, what is your department doing?
What is your department doing for what is it? COVID.
I can't even call it right.
I've been trying to tell.
Bugs.
I've been telling people I don't even care about Corona. I'm trying to be on bourbon right now. So
yeah,
can I get a bourbon virus? Like I get to stay home for 2 weeks and drink bourbon all day long, But yeah, we'll just change out my blood with bourbon.
Brenda says no. Dogs do not pass the virus to humans, but can we pass the virus to them?
I hope
that's the question.
And if you're passing your virus to your dog, you're dirty and you're wrong, and you should wash your mouth out with soap. That's my thought about it. So I think across the board, if you've watched anything that the president and everybody has had to say, it's a whole lot of, and see, for me in the military, hurry up and wait, that's just what we did. Hurry up and wait. Let's get all super prepared. And then you sit there and you wait and you wait and you wait. It's kind of like SWAT, sit, wait, and talk. So you just sit around and, everybody gets really excited, and it's a what if. What if he gets it? What if she gets it? What if we get it? And there was an officer that had asked, well, what if we get it? What's going to happen? Can all the cops quarantine for 14 days? What's going to happen? Essentially my thought would be we would go to Alpha Bravo shifts where you work 12 on, 12 off. You'd probably still go home. It's not like the roads are closed because there's debris or down power lines or flooding. It's not a hurricane. But the what if, what's going to happen if we get it? Why do we have to get it? I don't want to get it.
No, my understanding is, what do you do like when you get the flu? So somebody's complaining they can't see your face because the mic's in the way. So you got to
listen. You're not missing anything, folks. It's my eyes. So Jesse has done a great job with the lighting in here because you can actually see
that way.
Right.
That's why I'm looking.
Blinded by the light. Right. So usually I'm chingy. So I have to hold my eyes open and they get really dry and I look like a weirdo. So any still pictures you see of me, I usually always have my eyes like plastered wide open. And then I look really weird. So you're not actually missing anything. You can see my eyes are blue and you're not missing my teeth. They look like they're crip walking. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen anyway. So, I got a droopy lip. One side of my face is like all Down syndrome. I love Down syndrome people, so that's not offensive to me. I hope it's not offensive to you. And so I could get the mic out of my face, but I don't think you're missing anything.
So I got a questions for Chris. The Purge. I wish there was a Purge. I wish there was a zombie apocalypse, especially with all the toys that I got that I want to use on people. But I'm curious. What's the corona population in Colombia? Chris is Colombian.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's been a few of us that have been to Colombia.
I wish.
I've been to Colombia, and there ain't no viruses alive in that region. All the freaking methane and polyurethane and all the shit they're cooking down there probably kills off every virus. I'm just curious, but so what were you saying? Sorry, man, I got excited.
Yeah, I was talking about
Colombia days.
My face being all droopy and everything like.
Yeah, because they can't see your face on this view, and then Karen's not here to make us look good.
So I'm getting old and wrinkly. You're handsome. They just changed the beard policy. So I went into work the other day, and everybody's growing beards. I'm like, man, y'all look good. Y'all look young.
Y'all can grow beards now.
Yeah.
I know. Cocoa Beach has got a beard. Paul, if it's trimmed up, they're Colombians are immune to it. I figured.
I love that.
I figured. There's few agencies. If it looks trim and you know what I mean, and this is coming from a guy that never looked professional because I always look like a dirtbag.
No, you look like a badass. Actually, I was looking at your picture the other day, hanging in the PD when you were, young and you had that, clean shaven face. And
I was young.
I was like, dang, he looks like he was a badass. But I know him. He was.
I always wore the vest and I always wore like BDUs and stuff. I didn't really ever wear that fancy blue uniform. And but when I see guys in that, I don't like. I don't. I like the regular uniform.
Right.
And because in the town that I live in, they don't dress in that fancy blue uniform. They got shorts on. I think shorts, you look like an idiot. That's my personal opinion. If you're wearing shorts as a cop, you look like an idiot.
And Jacob, if you're listening,
you look like an idiot.
We love you.
Yeah, but you look like an idiot.
And don't forget leg day.
And you just don't look. You just don't look respectable. You don't have that authoritative look to you in shorts. And it's one thing if you're a TAC guy or SWAT or gang or street crimes, but if you're a guy in a black and white or a blue and white, whatever color you're driving, I think you should look like
that's what I always liked about Teachworth when he came to work. He was spick and span sharp. I mean, everything was crisp. Like, you knew he got his stuff tailored. And then I figured out, because where he lived, that he was going to this little ditty to get his police car cleaned. And they're like, oh, yeah, you know the guy. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah. See, I know.
Always pressed. Even our SWAT uniforms had to be pressed. But once upon a time, we had this overweight. I'm going to be polite and not say fat, but he was he was overweight, and he was a disgrace as a cop. And he came to work one day. He was on Gordon's shift for a little bit, and he came in shorts. And Gordon sent him home. Say, go home, put your pants on, come back here. You're not going to be on my shift like that. But anyway, we're getting off the tangent. Have they made any changes?
No,
do you know of anything different?
Yeah, really everything that everybody's doing is we're washing our hands. We're not making out with crackheads. Don't use someone else's crack pipe. I guess that's kind of one of the things. Needles, treat them as such. I mean, you still put your gloves on. Really, I mean, ever since I've been a cop, we've always, hand sanitizer. I think maybe the COVID-19 has come from, like, this guy just bought like a hand sanitizer company. He was like, hey, watch, I bet I can get a super rich right here. Toilet paper and hand sanitizer. We're going to get rich like crazy. That's the only thing that I can think of, because, I mean, but after every call, especially if we have to touch somebody or something, we are using hand sanitizer. And we were doing that before, the last 2 weeks. So nothing for us has changed. Now the city, they've closed their buildings, and they've, everybody's made all these concessions. The kids aren't in school, but it's work as usual. I think, some of the forethought and the worries of what we're going to see in policing is when people spend more time at home, domestic violence goes up. So make sure you take your breaks from your family and you walk and disconnect. And then suicides. I think when people don't have answers, the unknown, and they listen, get out of the TV. That's all I can say. Quit watching the news. They get so deep into that, and they don't know how to disconnect, and the TV becomes their reality. Their world, their surroundings might be great. I mean, they might have a perfect little setup. They have all the toilet paper they could hope for, and some fresh food. I don't know why people are just buying droves and droves of food. I mean, you're going to be out of work for 2 weeks. I mean,
well, the grocery stores aren't closing, and there's plenty of food. It was funny, man. All the stores, we were out of paper towels, so Karen had us on like a week-long hunt for paper. Our family goes through paper towels. We don't have an issue with toilet paper, but we go through paper towels like there's no tomorrow. So we went on this hunt, we stood in this ridiculous line. I called you.
Yeah.
I
We
called
were
you.
talking when the ladies
and I had to,
each other,
go. So I had to go into cop mode because, go figure, there must have been 200 people in this line. Huge line at BJ's, right? Everybody freaking out for toilet paper and paper towels, including Karen and I. And 2 people from the hood. Let me just leave it at that. 2 freaking hood ladies come up, get in, and they come right next to me, of all people. And all these people start going, hey, the line's back there. And the typical,
right.
I don't care what you say. I'm not waiting in no line. And I finally just went into cop mode and just said, hey, today's not the day, for lack of better terms. I'm just ready to whoop someone's ass. And they freaking, one of them bolted. She got smart. The other
She's
one
like,
stood there.
It's Mongo. He's back.
Yeah.
I thought you went to the fence.
I just was like, come on. And then you go in, and they had a semi-tractor trailer's worth of paper towels and toilet paper in there. So everybody got what they needed, right? It was a big, just nightmare for nothing. But, we got that. Then I go to Ace Hardware, and Ace Hardware's got toilet paper and paper towels. Nobody's buying it there.
I was telling you, Lowe's. I was in Lowe's, and like all of the in the back main alleyway, in between each aisle, they were loaded down with toilet paper. I was like, okay, Lowe's. I thought I'd have to buy like lumber and make my own or something. The
places you least expect it, but I think you can only use so much toilet paper a day, so I don't see what the freak is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you run out, hey man, get a washcloth, man. That's how the Middle Easterns do it.
They just use your left hand. You don't have to use toilet paper. I've been over there. See, they use the poop hand.
Oh, well, you forget. I lived in the same barracks with the Prince of Jordan and all his knuckleheads. And
I just wonder, like, what happens if you, like, fall over and your finger goes in your butt.
I dread those. I use plenty because I can't handle that. But I remember when I was at Blackwater at the barrack that I was staying in, Prince of Jordan and all his guys were in the same barrack. And every morning I'd get up to use the toilet.
Right.
And the dude next to me would be washing his feet in the toilet or in the sink while I was, and I'm like, I mean, you're the Prince of Jordans, guys. I can only imagine what your bathroom looks like over in
pretty elaborate, yeah,
or wherever they're from, whatever the country it is. But
Jordan.
Anyway, Jordan. I did say it right the first time, right? Sorry, man.
That's okay.
I've been home. I've been home for too long, hanging out with Karen and my kids. Man, I'm starting to lose it. I got to get out a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, stay outside, go outside, love each other, wash your hands. I mean,
pretty simple.
Pretty simple. Nothing. So as of right now, we haven't went to Alpha Bravo squads. Your cops. Okay, so let's make a transition. Maybe this is the time. Just like firefighters get fed, feed the cops. Everybody, go out, pay some waitress like a great tip. Tell her the food that you're buying is for the cops. Drop it off at the cop shop. I think we've cut back on the amount of civilians, or we still have civilians working, but they just people can't come in the front door.
Yeah. One of the towns nearby, they're on Alpha Bravo because of the beach. They're a beach town, so they went to Alpha Bravo. They're a small agency that could very well be the issue. I think you're right, though. I don't think police are making that big at this point, at where we're at in this catastrophe.
Right.
If it is that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And
waffle stomp in the shower like a Waffle House bathroom. Feed the cops. That's my sister.
God.
I love her.
Remember that bathroom we went to, Doug, in Louisiana? God. But anyway, fast food places giving first responders free food. They should. That's the least they can do. I just wouldn't eat it myself. I don't eat fast food, and I damn sure wouldn't eat no fast food if I was in a black and white or in a uniform. But that would just be the biggest concern. But as a first responder, I would think, I was always paranoid of crackheads, and I wouldn't even want them breathing around me. I was afraid of catching some sort of cootie bug, but I would be more concerned for paramedics and firefighters.
Oh, I give you. I have time for a quick cop story. We were.
I want to hear it.
So this is hilarious. So I grew up in and around Cocoa, and so I get dispatched to a call. It's a loud music call, and literally, I pull up. It was over off of Lionel, and I pull up and I walk up. I get out of my car. I walk up, and there's a social gathering. I mean, this is a couple years ago before COVID, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Oh man, what's the police doing here?" I'm like, "I'm trying to eat." And so the guy on the grill, he turns around, he like snaps his neck, and I was like, "You got some food for me, or what's up?" And they're like, yeah. So they're throwing some chicken on, a plate and some beans, and then Grandma goes in and gets like this whole big plate of food for me. She's like, "Come on, baby, I got some food for you." And so I'm standing over by the grill, and I'm just eating, and the food was incredible. And so the other cops, they come to back me up because they don't know that it's dinner time. And so JT and McDuffie, they come up. "Oh, are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Here, y'all want some?" And I was like, "Here, they got a plate for you." And so Grandma went back in the house, and she was like, come here, baby, I got some food for you." And JT was gone. And I was like, so I'm keying up on the radio. I'm like, "McDuffie, where you at? Come back." And he's like, No, I'm good. I'm like, "All right, come back and get this food." So I said, "That's kind of rude. You need to eat with my people here." So he comes back, and he gets a plate, and he puts it in his car. And I was like, "Are you going to eat that?" He was like, "No, I can't eat this, man." I'm like, "All right, meet me around the corner. I'm going to finish eating it." And
yeah, I used to eat. I had all kinds of people.
Oh, yeah.
I had all kinds of people that used to feed me, man. I used to love it. Damn, we out of time already? Getting close?
COVID-19.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts you want to give everybody? We had a nice little chat. I went off on everybody for the first 15 minutes, just how pissed off I am. I can't help it, man. Just the social media and the crap. And I don't care if they hear me or not. Like 90% of them are, obviously, if they're on my Facebook, they're an acquaintance, or they're a fan of the show, or they they know me, or they're my friends. And I look at the stuff that they put on there, and I'm like, stop. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slow down with the freaking corona crap and the freaking politics and the bragging.
I'm going to cough real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah. I ain't that scared. And
you saw him back up there, right?
And then you got, obviously, I've got a few of them on my page. Karen and I laugh. You got the women who I call them aerial artists. That take the pictures from up here. Like enough's enough, man.
I just coughed into my arm because I know when you get home, Karen's gonna meet you outside with like bleach water and spray. I can't believe he coughed on you. No, that was a setup, by the way.
Oh my God, man, enough's enough.
So yeah, let's definitely. So here's the thing. Reconnect with your family and your friends. Go out, have a social life in public, out in the fresh air. Get out of the house. Turn the phones off, turn the social media off, turn the news off. Go to the store and only get what you need. I mean, live like it's 1920. I mean, when you can go get some food, go get some food. Take care of your neighbor, take care of your partner, take care of your family. Pray together, eat together. This is a distraction. Listen, every year a lot of people die. They die from car crashes. They die from sickness. They die from life. That's what this is. If you weren't washing your hands and this helps you to start washing your hands, well, good on you. I think you should just wash your hands. Use a lot of common sense. I know common sense isn't so common. That's what the cops are doing. Listen, that's what the nurses, that's what the doctors, that's the only thing that they can do. If you're going to you feel like you have COVID. I feel like I have a cold. Okay, so I'm going to stay away from people. Just like we should if we have a regular cold. It's flu season, right? So what would you do different? When you have
more people are dying from the flu right now than the coronavirus.
It's crazy. I think, okay, so, I mean, I never understood why it's like a big deal. People, die every year of the flu. A lot of people die of the flu. A lot of people die from car crashes and heroin overdoses. I mean, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, there was AIDS epidemic. I didn't get AIDS. Did you get AIDS?
I did, but I used that stuff. Shake it up real quick. Pour it, spray it on there.
Yeah.
And it went away.
2 sprays a day. Call me in the morning. Like, it's cool. I mean, just don't go plug your thing into, you know, something with AIDS. How hard was that? I mean, but I get it. There's not this quick cure that everybody has. However, there's some good things to come of it. Listen, if we need to manufacture masks in the United States, if that creates more jobs, if any of this creates more jobs, more stability, I don't think we should be paying $2 for gas. I think we should pay, I don't know, I'm good with 55 cents a gallon.
That's how it was when I started driving, but it was about 55 cents. But some places are down to 180. They're expecting it to go lower. President Trump, obviously, you saw the move he did when the Saudis and the Russians put all their oil for sale. He bought it all. He goes, he's
a businessman,
and he goes, I'm gonna lower our gas in the United States. God bless you, man, because that's a big deal. Because you know, people don't realize if gas goes up $1, right? Yeah. You just took a pay cut because it costs you $40 a week, the average person to drive for 5 days of work week. Costs you $40. It's the average, unless you're driving one of these big-ass monster trucks or gas guzzlers, it's going to cost you more. So if gas goes up $1, you just lost $40 in your paycheck. People don't think like that. If gas goes down $1, you just got a $40 raise a week.
Right.
People don't think, you know, that I'm one of those guys. I pay attention to gas prices and things like that. I didn't used to. I do now. It's funny. When I had no money, I didn't pay attention. Now that I got a little bit, just a little bit, I'm trying to hang on to it.
Right.
But I want to give a couple of messages out to first responders for the week, and then I'll before I forget them, because my brain's not working very well today. One of the things is, as a first responder, you're under a tremendous amount of stress, tremendous amount, on a daily thing. We talk about it every week. Cops, firefighters, first receivers, because I've been using that a lot because your wife, man, if you don't throw that in there, she'll catclaw your ass quick.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. I dig it, right? Yeah. I didn't before, but I do now. And anyway, tremendous amount of stress. The last thing you as a first responder, I should say us, since I reactivated my policeness the other day at BJ's, I came out of retirement to whoop some hood rat's ass, but they didn't want none. So anyway, you're under a tremendous amount. Let it go, man. Leave the social media off. Leave the news off. Get the information you need to get and move on. Here's the other thing, and this goes for everybody. Instead of taking pictures of your tits and putting them on your Facebook page,
text them to Chris,
or send them to Chris, or showing off your fishing boats or your fast cars or whatever, instead of doing that, put that down, because listen, nobody cares.
Yeah. Nobody
cares that you got a nice boat. Nobody cares that you're fishing. And that's got nothing else. That's got nothing to do with you, Doug, because he did put a picture of him fishing. I was kind of jealous. Stop and pick the phone up and call somebody. I'm big on this. If you're a first responder, pick the phone up and if on your way home, and just call somebody random. Call another cop, call another responder, call somebody random. Right. Hey, man, how are you doing? I don't want to talk about this. Just, hey, man, how's the kids? How's things going? What's new with you besides all this mayhem? Vice versa. Instead of, because and I'm guilty of it too, because I live on a phone 24 hours a day. People call you, you don't pick up. Or you don't send a text, but you damn sure can send some sort of message on social media. Instead of doing that, pick up the phone and call somebody and go, hey, I know things are going pretty rough right now. You doing okay? Is there anything I can do for you? Or here's an example. See if I can find it real quick. I'll just show you.
So
Saturday night. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
6/21, Saturday night. Not, hey, you going out drinking or anything like that, or hey, alls I got, and I don't know if you can see it, if you can zoom in.
Jessica can show it.
That's what I got. Look at that, 621.
Love you, brother.
That's it. I didn't need a whole dissertation. I didn't need anything. That was one of my SWAT brothers, and your brother too, calling me up and just saying, hey, man, just want you to know I love you, man. And it changed, it changed my whole evening.
Right.
And like, I know he does. I know you do. I know my friends do. I know my SWAT guy. I know that. But it's nice to hear it. It's nice to know it. And it couldn't, and it always comes at a particular time. There's a new song out, and every time I hear it, it makes me think of losing Cameron.
Right. And
it's just one of those songs, and it makes me cry, and it makes me think, and then you get something like that. Not, hey, man, can I borrow $20? Which I wouldn't have minded that anyway, but it was, hey, no, just
that was it.
The facts.
To the point, right there.
Yeah, just like you do the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, just calling you. Man. Hey, is everything all right? Yeah, just want to let you know I love you, man. If you need anything, call me.
Yep.
Please, just do that. It'll help this transition go a lot smoother. Things are going to be fine, okay? Things are going to be fine. This is not that big of a deal. If somebody dies from it, well, guess what? They were going to die anyway.
Yeah. You get one chance. Listen,
I don't mean to burst your bubble, but we all listen. Everybody's got a day, and listen.
Whatever that day
I'm
is.
30 seconds. Sorry, started this. I'm 30 seconds closer to dying.
Yeah.
Listen, no big deal. The economy is going to boom when this is over because people are going to spend money. The economy's going to go up. People will get back. We've been through worse in our time. This isn't the first freaking. I watched a show last night. I watched those. The Hoods Are Haunted. It's a lot of it's some Bigfoot shit because I'm a big Bigfoot fan, right? But it's called These Hoods Are Haunted, and it's some scary.
Wait, you mean like my hood that I work in?
Not the hood, but the wood hood.
The wood hood.
Did I say hood?
Yeah, you said hood.
I'm such a hood rat that I use
because you see the
woods,
OOD part
right,
of it.
Right. I'm stuck on it. But these woods, and it's mainly about some scary ass Bigfoot shit and like ghosts in the woods. And these particular ones were haunted because of, and basically the late 1800s, Travel Channel. Chris is on that shit too. He watches it. So listen, it wasn't scarlet fever. It basically killed everybody, wiped out whole towns, and we evolved. And then it was something else. It was scarlet fever. That might have been what it was. It was all these things that we're talking about that had taken place over time. From the flu, from SCARS. SCARS? Is that what it's called? SARS?
SARS. Oh, yeah. You remember SARS? That was like
SARS?
Swine flu. I don't know.
I think SARS came from. I think that came from
get?
China too, man. I'm freaking Chinese, man. Godzilla shit they got going on over there. Everybody's mad at Trump for calling it the Chinese disease. Well, hey, man, that's where it came from. We're gonna call it how we see it, for lack of better terms. But anyway,
this is almost as gnarly as 9/11. Take a pause. Think about where you were at. If you weren't around at 9/11 because you're a baby, God bless you, but 9/11 changed the world, and then COVID-19 changed the world, and it's basically all we're doing is we're going back to where we came from. You don't have to go to the store on Sunday. The stores can be closed on Sunday. Walmart should close. I think there's a way to save money here for everybody. I think there's a way to have better relationships and do better things by closing everything down. 6 o'clock, unless you're having a social gathering or making something better after 6 o'clock, go home. Go talk to your family. Have dinner. We try to sit and eat each night and with our daughters, which I love that. We talk and we ask hard questions. The hardest questions of the day is usually, how was your day? What did you do? What did you learn? How did you help somebody? You teach your family how to love again. If we went back just 20 years or pre 9/11, we lived a different way. Then 9/11 happened and people came together and they helped each other. And now we have another distraction, but we can't. I guess they're deploying National Guard members to different cities or whatever. I hope not, just to stand around in their uniforms as a show of force. I don't believe in that. I think just treat people good, just like you said.
M4s with no magazines in them. But.
Right. Don't try each other. Pick each other up. I mean, if the lady in the aisle next to you can't reach the top shelf, reach up and get something for her. Ask her, how can I help you? Remember to help each other out. Love the hell out of each other. That's one of my favorite sayings is to love the hell out of whoever it is. Just the kind, easy, simple things go a really long way. Just like Doug said, that text of "I love you, brother." It was to the point, and that person had no expectation of what Doug was going to send back. Maybe and maybe there was a hope of "I love you too, thanks," whatever. That's all it has to be. Why do we expect so much out of each other? Just something simple. Move on and wash your hands, please. Don't cough on me. I'm joking. That doesn't even bother me, really, because if you're healthy, if you're doing all the right things already, I don't think that this stuff is a big deal. I don't think it should be a distraction in your life. Take away from what you already do. Love your family. Go outside. Fresh air, fresh air, fresh air. I don't know how many times I could say that. And then whatever happens in a month or two happens. I mean, you have one life. Do your best.
Like I said, I think it's a blessing. I remember a long time ago, before I finish, I was doing something with the NAACP and a few organizations like that. And they asked me a question. They said, why do you think that our youth in this day and age is so out of control? Why are the crime rate in the youth? Why are they using drugs more? Why are they so out of control? And let me tell you, kids today, they're out of control. Trust me, I got a few of them little jackasses in my house. And they asked me, they said, why are they out of control? And I told, and they didn't expect this comment coming from a cop. And what I told them was, it's our fault.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why it's our fault. Because in the past few generations, when I was a kid, so I'm 50, right? So, I was born in the Happy Days era.
You don't look 50. You don't even have wrinkles.
Shit, that's because I'm so swollen and puffy. They're stretched out. I put so much weight on. My wrinkles are stretched out. But
you got good skin too.
We didn't have. I missed that part.
Sorry. But up here. That's good skin.
That's because I even trimmed my beard. It's because I saw this series and said you should shave your beards off because for germs. So I trimmed it short. But
That's
anyway,
your flavor saver.
I know. The other day, I had ate some Mexican corn.
Oh yeah.
Karen makes Mexican corn because she is Mexican. Everybody knows it. And she made me this Mexican corn, and like my beard was red orange from all the paprika and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we hauled ass out of the house to go walk a few miles, and like for the first 3 miles, I was like licking my beard, man, and I could taste Mexican corn for like 3 miles, man. We were cracking up. It was good, man. It kind of got me through my walk. You got me off my subject with the Mexican corn, but we'll call it Colombian corn just in case some people are offended by the Mexican term. Chris is my Colombian friend. He don't care. And I don't understand not from Colombia. What does that mean? Biological Doug's 80? Biologically Doug's 80. That's probably right. But so you played outside.
Yeah.
All I had to do was play outside. Obviously, I come from a poor background. We lived out in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have anything to do. I had a soccer ball. My kids asked me, Dad, how did you become so good at soccer? I said, because I had nothing else to do. I kicked that ball every day, all day long. Right. And, when I got older, I got a dirt bike. But, when I wasn't dirt biking or shooting shit out in the woods with my brother, I was kicking the soccer ball. That's what we did. You knew your neighbors. You played outside. These kids, now speed through a couple generations. My mom was a stay-home mom. Right. Dinner at 5 o'clock, that type of stuff. Then mom started working more. Technology came into play. Parents buy their kids everything. You just look at these little turds. Yeah. And I say turds. Yeah. We're talking like 6th grade down. They all got iPhones. the same people that are, broke and on food stamps, is that what they call it? Food stamps and all that crap. Everybody's got iPhones, right? They've got technology, they got video games, they got all that stuff.
Right.
It's our fault.
Right.
Because we don't come outside. We're very friendly with our neighbors, which is cool. I live on one of them streets where all my neighbors are super cool, and we say hi to each other and we shoot the shit in the front yard every day. But it wasn't always like that.
Right.
It's our fault. And so this is another reason that I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Is to get everybody reunited with their families, reunited in their communities,
Absolutely.
and slow everybody down. That's my tangent. Obviously, Karen's going to be like, you never stick to your topic. Our topic was how's it affecting your police department? It's affecting our police department this way. And like I tell her every week, it's my damn show. I'll talk whatever I want to do.
And here's the thing. Your police department is your home, too. And how is it affecting your home? I think that's kind of the underlying message. Because, listen, the cops are going to be good. You know your friends. You know whoever's out dealing with this and force on the front lines. They're doing fine. It's a what if. What if this happens? We're gonna manage it. We're gonna mitigate it. That's what we always do. We thrive in fire. We thrive in craziness. We thrive in times like this because first of all, we don't quit. We don't give up. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna continue to show up to work. We're gonna continue to take our time off too. But we're gonna love the hell out of each other and not let this affect us. I love the reset. I love to see that stores are closing, that you can't get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to Walmart because at 2 o'clock in the morning, the people at Walmart are crazy. So let them come out in the daylight, and I think that sun will drive some of the craziness away. Maybe they're vampires. I don't know. I don't believe in vampires, but that's the only people you find. Yeah, that's the only people you find in Walmart at 2 o'clock, some pale-skinned people.
Oh, I've seen it all there. No more worried someone will steal my chicken. I am more worried someone will steal. First of all, ain't nobody can steal your nasty-ass chickens. You're the only moron I know that has chickens and geese and all kinds of other stank farm life in your house. And I say that with all the love and compassion I can possibly send you, Doug.
And here comes the picture of the clown. No, I'm joking.
Oh, no, it's coming. It's coming. I can assure you it's coming. But Hingle PD is awesome. So, and that's my other buddy, Chris. He's up in Norfolk PD. Chris, is everybody doing okay with that shooting you guys had the other day? I was worried about that. And he was supposed to come down to vacation. My buddy Jay Dobbin's supposed to come from Arizona. Yeah, but I'm sold out of eggs. I don't know. Anyway, and, this is ruining some stuff, but it ain't the end of the world. They'll be back, man. It's Florida. Everybody come here.
Absolutely.
So anyway, everybody remember the few things we did talk about that meant anything today was, put everything down, relax a little bit, take a breather, enjoy the vacation. And, put the social media down. For you guys that are out there working hard in the departments. Oh, I wanted to touch on one thing. So one of the things Karen and I did the other day is we're big fans of long doggers.
Yeah.
We particularly like the one in Cocoa Beach. They've been very good to us. They're very good to police officers and law enforcement, I should say. And we stopped by there and I spoke to one of the assistant managers and I said, hey, listen, we know you guys aren't really open anymore, but if any of the waitresses need anything or, if this is going to catastrophically impact their, a bunch of the girls that are waitresses there have small children. One of them just had a baby. I said, let us know. They know us. They're on Facebook with us. I go, well, if they need some money or something, we'd be more than happy to come up and do the best that we can. So go by your local places. If you're any of the beach people, go by Long Doggers. That's just a particular favorite of mine. And go in there and just tip your waitress.
Yeah.
If you can. Out. Like they got a special tonight, a curbside special. And they're not even a sponsor of the show. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, man, help. If everybody could just help each other a little bit more.
Help your neighbor.
This would be
A whole lot easier.
Yeah, Chris is coming down as soon as quarantine's lifted. I just come now. Screw it. Shit. That was a perfect time to come. Ain't nobody here.
Walking or driving. Hey, gas is cheap. Let's
Bars
start
are still
again.
open.
All right.
So thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
thank you, man. If there's anything we can do.
Be safe. Take care of each other. Wash your hands.
See you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We will be back. Karen, we miss you. Hopefully she'll be out of quarantine then. See ya.